Hello, Janet Melody here for another lesson in A Course in Miracles. Today I'm on lesson 39, and the statement that we need to remember throughout our day to day is "My holiness is my salvation." Now, if you're new to this course and you want to read up on the lesson yourself, there will be links under this video so you can check out the information there. So what I'm going to do is read a segment of the text for today's lesson and then have a practice period at the end. So today our statement is, "My holiness is my salvation." And this is what it's about. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Like the text for which this workbook was written, the ideas used for the exercises are very simple, very clear, and totally unambiguous. We are not concerned with intellectual feats nor logical toys. We are dealing only in the very obvious, which has been overlooked in the clouds of complexity in which you think. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? This is not difficult, surely. The hesitation you may feel in answering is not due to the ambiguity of the question, but do you believe that guilt is hell? If you did, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is, and you would not need a workbook at all. No one needs practice to gain what is already hers. We have already said that your holiness is the salvation of the world. What about your own salvation? You cannot give what you do not have. A Saviour must be saved. How can she teach salvation? Today's exercises will apply to you, recognizing that your salvation is crucial to the salvation of the world. As you apply the exercises to your world, the whole world stands to benefit. Your holiness is the answer to every question that was ever asked, is being asked now, or will be asked in the future. Your holiness means the end of guilt, and therefore the end of hell. Your holiness is the salvation of the world and your own. How could you, to whom your holiness belongs, be excluded from it? God does not know unholiness. Can it be he does not know his daughter? So, our salvation is basically your divinity. My holiness, my divinity is my salvation. That's what we're meant to remember today. It's what we're going to use to basically keep in mind as things come up. So we're asked today to do 4 practice periods of 5 minutes at a time. Again, you can do 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and a couple in the day. What feels right for you, when it feels right, when a situation arises, when you've got time in your day that you can really devote the real 5 minutes and absorb it fully, because it's really important that we do this throughout the day. Our minds are like wild stallions, and we have to sort of rein them in because they've been running havoc amongst the world and creating all this chaos and suffering and guilt. And we see everything as guilty because we've separated from our source of love. And we forget that's what we are. And when we get back into that energy, we become one, and we're able to walk around the day and give love, not all this judgment, animosity, suffering, whatever it is. When we're not being a loving person, we're in fear in different forms. And so today it's asking us to find those different areas of suffering. So it's given us a list. So it's saying any unloving thoughts that may arise, that's what we're looking for, may appear in uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecurity, and so on. And the statement that we have to say. So first, we repeat as always the statement, "My holiness is my salvation." Say that a few times. Then close your eyes and find these unloving thoughts. And then we want to be saying, "My unloving thoughts about," could be a person, it could be a situation that you're in, are keeping me in hell. And then, "My holiness is my salvation." So we're going to be repeating that as different thoughts appear throughout. So I'll put some music on. The statements are just behind here. Hope you can read that. So if you forget, that's what you need to look at. I'll just give a brief statement at the beginning of each sort of change. So I'll say the statement and then what you need to say as you're looking for these unloving thoughts. So let's put some music on and we'll give this a 5-minute practice. So firstly, remember the statement, "My holiness is my salvation. And now search for those unloving thoughts and say, my unloving thoughts about are keeping me in hell, and end with my holiness is my salvation. you can open your eyes and just remember the statement again. My holiness is my salvation. Okay, how was that? I hope that helped you just dissolve whatever's going on in your mind today. And the exercise today is to keep this in mind, you know, and if anything comes and disturbs you, kind of like doesn't want to, because one thing I've noticed about the ego mind is it wants to keep you busy in other things that it thinks are more important. Like this time now here with me going through this lesson, it could be saying, you know, oh, I need to get going, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. And so we prioritize our separate lives, you know, the lives that aren't as important as, you know, getting to the place in your mind. Because when you're living from a mind of guilt, you're living from fear. And in a fearful mind, you know, you judge people, you have all this, just the problems, the suffering, you get into your ailments, you get into negativity, it's just not a good place to be. And so if anything like that comes up and you're finding yourself challenging that, it gives a statement as well today to say, if guilt is hell, what is the opposite? So just to remind yourself of that, you know, that you're feeling guilty, really. The guilt is what's causing all of this separate feelings. And yeah, so keep the statements in mind. Know that this is important. You're really getting your mind into a good place. And the more you can stay focused on those thoughts and not let them run wild, the more you're going to have so much more control over your life in a way that it's control, but it's letting go of control in another way. You know, it sounds a bit sort of paradoxical what I'm saying, but yeah, it's to let go is to give up control really to your divinity, you know, and it guides your life naturally. So the more you let go of the having to have everything a certain way, the more your life will just flow. That's how it works. That's the amazing thing about these lessons. The knock-on effect it's having, we're building layers and layers each day. We're building on this and becoming more aware of what our minds are doing, and to rein in that mind, to bring it to the light, because it's pretty dark in there and we need to bring the light into it. And the more we shine light on it, the more you'll feel the ease and the light in your own life. So that's today's lesson, and I will see you tomorrow for lesson 40. Gosh, we're on lesson 40 already. Okay, take care. I'll see you then. Bye.